Hello, my sweet friend. It's Christina, and welcome to a new episode of the Art Cake Coach podcast. Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to the Art Cake Coach podcast. My name is Cristina Revalo. I'm a sugar paste modeling artist, a teacher, a coach for cake artists, Cake Friends Day creative community manager, award-winning cake decorator, and representative of international cake competitions. I'm so happy to have you here. If you are a cake artist, a cake enthusiast, or a baker who is seeking some help in anything related to your time management, social media management, setting your goals for yourself or your business, your mindset towards your business, or even a few hints of how to be part of the international cake community, cake collaboration, and cake competitions, you are in the right place. So, welcome to today's episode. Well, hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to another episode of the RK Coach podcast. Christina here. I'm so happy to have you here. Today's episode is with a very, very special guest, Enrique Rojas. Please forget my enthusiasm at the beginning, but I was really having fun talking with him before the episode started. So the episode starts on a very high note. But like I said, we were putting up to date the conversation about Venezuela and about um, our experience has been Venezuelan cake artists outside of our country trying to make it into the business. So it was really fun. It was really fun to talk to him. Don't miss this episode. A lot of takeaways from it. Enrique is a beautiful soul. It's a very calm, very down to earth person, very clear on his ideas, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot of takeaways from today's episode. But I didn't want to start without giving a big shout out to all of the members of Cake Friends Day Creative who reached out to me last week with the episode about money mindset. It was a very candid episode. It was a very open episode where I talked about my own experience. I was very open. It was very liberating for me, actually, I have to say. And receiving your feedback was beautiful. So I have Yvonne, who was also a guest in this podcast, said was great listening. Money can be a trigger for many of us. So I appreciate your honesty. I appreciate you, Yvonne. Thank you so much. Like I said, I just wanted to be honest so you can see that it's not a big deal and it's there for all of us. Um, Paulette Stewart said, thank you very much. I appreciate your kindness. I appreciate you, Paulette. Thank you so much for listening. Baker's Bite, thank you for sharing. It's awesome to hear it from you. Thank you, Baker's Bait. I know, I mean, I'm just another human that suffers from the same issues that everybody else. And I love hearing your feedback. Lourdes Castros, thank you so much for sharing. Shime Aguirre, thank you so much. I mean, all of you have been so supportive with this episode. So, a big shout out to all of you. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here and share it. If you think there is something that other members of the community that you know can take away from any of this episode, this is why I'm doing it, to serve you guys. So share it with your colleagues, share it with other cake artists, invite them to listen to the podcast because all of this is for you. So that's for the shout out today. And I won't take much longer because I'm sure you want to listen to today's episode. If you don't know, I'm going to explain today's episode is a full episode. So we're not going to have breaks for sponsors, but I don't want to leave without also giving a shout out to two of our very, very dear sponsors. One is Seracino with their magazine, We Love Pastry, beautiful magazine filled with tutorials and opportunities for many cake artists. Don't miss it. I always leave the links for the magazine here in the description of this episode. And also, I want to give a big shout out to my friends at Bake It Italy who are preparing a beautiful event for September with a beautiful cake collaboration. Is a cake exhibition competition. So I will be leaving the links for them for their event also here in today's episode. With this, I'm going to leave you now so you can listen to today's conversation with Enrique Rojas, my fellow Venezuelan cake artist. I hope you enjoy it and give me your feedback. If you're listening on Spotify, there is a question that you can answer. We'll go directly to my messenger and I can listen to your feedback about today's episode. Enjoy, and I'll say goodbye at the end. Bye bye. Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome to another episode of the RK Coach podcast. Christina here, and I am so happy to welcome this sweet Enrique Rojas, which is not only an amazing cake artist, but is also Venezuelan like me. So, of course, he's an amazing person. Hello, Enrique. How are you today?
Hello, how are you, everyone? How are you, Christina? I think you have to say we've been talking about a little bit before
Yeah, I was
this.
gonna say this
Yeah,
right now.
okay.
So if you're listening, you have to know that Enrique and I we've been talking for almost an hour. Putting all the Venezuelan conversation up to date until now, which has been really fun. We had to force ourselves, like, okay, let's do this, and let's switch
Yeah,
to English because we've been speaking in Spanish, and it's great to listen to somebody. Speaks Spanish like me. We were talking about that as well. That the
yeah,
Venezuelans, we have our accent that we think that we don't have, but we do. So,
yeah,
it's great. It's great. And how are you, Enrique? How are you today?
yeah. I'm good. Today is really hot here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not as hot as in Portugal or
I
Lisbon.
don't know. Probably. I don't know. How hot is
Uh,
it over there?
but it's 26 today.
Yeah, I think we're around that. We have a good
Yeah,
day
yeah,
today. Yeah,
yeah. But
yeah.
it was actually 19 yesterday, and it
Mm.
will be. Yeah, probably 21 tomorrow, but it's going to be raining. So today it's really hot,
Yeah,
and it's really sunny, and it's really nice. But
great.
I get hay fever, so I'm not going out. Basically,
Oh, yeah, that's another
I
not
got
fun thing.
chlorine in the pool makes it helps,
Mm-hmm.
and then I come out and stay indoors because otherwise I'll be sneezing and coughing all day.
Oh,
So,
that's not good. That's not
but
good.
it's nice to see the sun, and
It
it's hot.
is. It
It is.
is. Great. Now tell me something. Now that you're mentioning the heat, I don't know if I guess everybody know who you are, but in case you don't know who Enrique is, Enrique is an amazing cake artist. His wedding cakes are, I mean, you're my hero. I'm gonna explain why. Because I dread doing wedding cakes. Wedding cakes are not for me. And you make
Really?
not only wedding cakes, but square wedding cakes, the perfect ages. I mean, it's like a dream. And that's all of the things that you do are the things that I don't do. So you're my hero in that sense. And now you're mentioning the heat. How do you work when you have this kind of temperature with your cakes? Or do you have like a special temperature in your studio? How do you work that?
Well, the room, well, my studio is actually very, very well insulated. So it is not super new. It's probably been 2 years.
Hmm.
And last summer, I found out how hot it can get in because I have three roof lights and two windows. So it's basically a fish tank. If it gets too hot,
Yeah.
26 is fine, and it's actually really it's mild in here right now.
Okay.
But if the temperature goes to over 30, which is very rare in England,
Yeah, I'm
okay,
sure.
it's probably 2 3 days a year. It gets really hot inside, like
Yeah.
hot that all the windows and the sun coming in, and it's glass, so it gets even
Yeah.
hotter inside. So it can be really difficult to work. So that's when the fridge comes in,
Good.
and we need to put everything in the fridge and basically work at night. Yeah,
Great. Yeah. Well, check out. We're going to be leaving here all of the links to Enrique's
work because it's beyond amazing. I'm telling you, it's like every time you post something on Instagram, I was like, oh, if I get married again, that would be my cake. And then I said, no, that one. And then I switched to another one. No, that one would be my cake. Because
You
for me,
want to be,
it's so different. It's so from from the classic wedding cake, and
yeah.
it's unique. It's like a piece of art. Every one of the cakes you make. Before we get into that, tell me a little bit how you started in this path as a cake artist.
But I started after I was made redundant from my architectural work. I'm
Ah, that
back
explains so much. You're an architect.
in, at, uh, I think it was 2008 when we have that huge global banking crisis
Hmm.
that it affected everywhere. And so I lost my job. And I did try to get back in because I love architecture. And but obviously, it was a huge crisis and jobs were scarce. So I started baking more as a hobby.
Hmm.
I used to bake, and my family, I have a lot of family members that they are actually, they're chocolatiers or, they make desserts or make cakes or, all that kind of stuff. Um, and I started baking more, and then some people started saying, this is all while I was trying to find another architect job.
Yeah,
And they started to say, well, you can do this as a business. And I was like, no, no one is going to pay for this. And they were like, no, I think they will. And I was like, no, 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 no. And I refused plainly for like 2, 3 years until I had a wedding cake commission.
okay.
And obviously it wasn't like the ones today. It was more probably simpler and no stray edges, nothing like that. But I thought, well, they're paying me for it, so I might as well try. And then yeah, I think from then on started to take off basically. So
Yeah,
that's how fast forward. It's gonna be 10 years now, nearly.
yeah, yeah.
So a long time.
It is, it is, and it's
Yeah,
not only. I think it's not only the amount of. I mean, yeah, it's been a long time, but in that time you have achieved creating your signature style. That when you
yeah,
see a cake and you say
yeah,
that's Enrique's cake, and that's one of. I mean, I've been talking about that before here on the podcast, and for the listeners that. Some of the people when we start almost like copycats because usually the client will send us like I want this picture and you just try to do as much as you can the same cake, but when you
mm.
get to that point that you have your signature style, how did you get there? How did you find your voice through the cakes?
Well, that's actually before going there. I have to say to everyone listening that there is nothing wrong if you actually want to copy cakes. I mean, I actually believe, like we all have a place,
Yeah.
and if you don't, I in my experience, I found quite a lot of people that they stress over being original
Yeah.
and being unique, and I think a lot of us, we are all unique and we're all different already. So I mean, if you have the talent and the skill to copy one cake exactly like you see it,
That's a
you might
skill. Yeah.
that's a skill. You
Mm-hmm.
might not realize it, but that's a skill
Yeah.
because the amount of time I've been given one and I don't get it exactly the same, not because I want to do it different only, but because I can't do it the same because
Yeah.
that was made by someone else. And I think this is kind of stressing over finding your own style, and I think there's space for everyone, and I think there's some people that is going to be more creative, and maybe in my case, obviously I have the architectural background, so while I was at uni, I was history of architecture, of design, and you get design subjects, and all this stuff. So that develops a little bit more.
Yeah.
in that sense. And I know some people are going to say, "Ah, well, but you're an architect and you have that." But and take it from me, I went to architectural school, and some of my the fellow students, they weren't creative either.
Yeah,
They will
that's true.
go by, like, yeah, we do this, we do this, we do this, and you get through
Yeah.
because that's also a skill. You follow something. So
Yeah.
being that's one thing, and then, but I think that helped actually, and
Mhm.
obviously, if you have if you grow up in a more artistic environment, with parents or sisters, siblings, or whatever, obviously your curiosity, if you're curious about things that happen outside, that all helps to find a style.
Yeah.
But stress, because I think some people think that it's a let's do one and we ain't gonna find it, you
Yeah.
know, and it might take
No, it can
years.
take years. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
It might be like, some people might be working on buttercream, and then they switch to fondant and they say, "Wow, now I can do more things," or
Yeah.
the other way around, or it's experimenting
Yeah.
and
Good. I like
finding,
that. Yeah.
yeah, finding that fit first, and then you say, and it's all very related also to how much you charge. Actually, incredibly, I
Okay.
think,
Tell me about that. I
because
like I like this topic. I like where
no,
we're going.
I think some people think that you're going to do fantastic things, but then no one is going to buy them, and maybe the market doesn't. But also, you need to think that maybe from a commercial and price point of view, it's not quite viable to do it. So you
Okay.
can't force it, and then if you're selling something, you have to sell it for your market, and yeah, you have to value your work, but you don't get to that point either at the same time. It goes all That's why I'm saying it's all related, and at one point when everything kind of comes together,
Got it.
and
Yeah.
you come and say, I don't want to do that job, and you can say no.
Mm-hmm.
That's when you know what you're doing and how
Exactly.
and what you like to do, because you
Yeah.
can say no to someone that is forcing you to do something that you just go like, oh no, I don't want to do that. But you
Exactly.
need to go through a lot of things before that. Like, if your life depends on making cakes, I mean, don't do that. Basically,
Exactly. I mean, yeah, you have
do
to know
whatever.
where are you in your journey
Yeah,
as
yeah,
a cake artist? Yeah.
yeah,
I think we all start as cake decorators,
yeah,
because we basically decorate a cake that our customer just give us a picture and like this is what I want, and
yeah.
it's just the beginning. It's just a start. But I love that you put it together in and listen, my listeners. Listen to this because it's a big takeaway. You're describing everything as a journey. I mean, you start
Mhm.
as copycat, as a cake decorator, doing whatever a person asks you to do, but it's a skill. Don't take
It
it
is.
as is a
Yeah,
setback. It's a skill, and then you cultivate that skill until you come to a point that you know how much you're going to charge for your cakes. And when you get to that point, you say, and this is the one that I'm going to do. And you're only going to get that by trying different methods and,
yeah.
trying to
But
find yourself in your art. Yes.
we forget, maybe because it's not widely known, and it's probably a historical fact.
Mm-hmm.
But back in the Renaissance, you had Michelangelo
Yeah.
painting, but you had people that they had the set of skills to copy his work so perfectly that they were paid for it,
Yes.
probably as much as him, to copy him exactly. And if you are
Exactly.
going to tell me that's not a skill, it is a skill. It's a
It is, and
fantastic.
it's not easy to do.
No, it's
No,
not easy.
no
So,
way.
so people stress over this. I always go like, why?
Yeah.
and and then I I went to architecture school, and there's something that is called iterations.
Mm-hmm.
And iterations is basically you do something so many times that because you're human, every time is different.
Okay.
So by that same principle, you have five people doing the same design, but the five designs are going to
It's
be
gonna be
different
different.
somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not
Absolutely.
completely different, but they're going to have different things.
Yeah.
By doing that, if you do it in a sequence,
Mm-hmm.
for example, you have five people, and you have number one copying the original, and then number two copying number one, and so on. Number five is going to end up with something that is different from the
Yeah.
original, because that's how it works.
Tell me
So
something. Doesn't that happen to you when you're teaching the same cake over and over again?
it does, yeah,
Yeah.
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 And I always encourage the students to do something different.
Yeah.
Like if you want to change it, change it. And it comes out of my desire to see how to stretch that design as well. Like I want to see what they come up with, because it might
Yeah.
actually be interesting to me as well.
It could be a learning
Uh,
experience as well for you. Yeah.
some people have done it, and I'm like, you know what, that looks really well, and I might try it.
See?
That kind of thing. Um, yeah, yeah. I think it's. I don't think people should stress over that,
I
and I
like
think
that. I like that you mentioned that because, yeah, I mean, take it seriously enough, but also leave room for that. Leave room to,
yeah,
to enjoy the process because it's a process, right?
it is. It's totally a process.
Oh,
It's
I
no.
love that. I love that. Through all your years as a cake artist, I usually ask this to the guest. What can you say were until now your biggest struggles, but also your biggest achievements?
Hmm.
It doesn't have to be awards. We were talking about awards before. It doesn't have to be awards, but
Yeah, no, it's not.
but in general.
Struggles. Hmm. Achievements. I think. I think. Um, because I work with real people. I'm not just making fake cakes for show techniques and stuff. So
Okay.
I have real couples, and I think some of these couples they come to me because they see something slightly different, um, and then but they don't. Obviously, weddings are very traditional everywhere in the world. So some couples tend to be very traditional, and even though they want something slightly different, they at the end of the day they end up with something in between.
Okay.
Uh, and I think when I hear back from them, I say that is very fulfilling. That's when they come back to you and say the cake was amazing, it looks fantastic, and it makes me even happier when they say it tastes amazing,
Of course.
because obviously that's my pride. And 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 I think struggles is I don't know. I think it's more on a personal level, because I think it's a solitary
Okay.
profession.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah.
And I come from working in an office with 15, 20 people, and going to meetings all the time.
Yeah.
So uh, it is a struggle in the sense that you listen to music and talk to the dog, basically.
Yeah.
And that kind of thing is, you feel a little bit separated from everything.
Yeah. It is true.
Uh,
It is true.
it is, and I think there is that's me probably at the personal level. I don't think I have had any difficult clients. Touch.
Good. Good.
Uh, I only had one, but it was a bit of a misunderstanding.
Okay.
Uh, but the rest, they all been. I mean, I can't blame it on the clients. My clients have been very good, actually.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
good. That's awesome.
yeah,
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
I don't complain either on that sense. I think over 15 years, maybe two clients that were a little bit not so easy. And, but, uh, I mean, it was an issue that it didn't, I mean, it didn't even have to do with the cake. So I was like, yeah, sure,
Mm,
whatever. So no problem in that sense. But it's funny that you mentioned the loneliness because a couple months ago in the group in our group Cake Friends Stay Creative, I asked like a poll. I did a poll in the group to ask what did people struggle as a cake artist, and you have no idea how many people answer what you just said, that it could be a very lonely
yeah,
job. And because you're unless you have like a bakery and you work with a ton of people, uh, most of the cake artists work either from home or in a studio, and you're working by yourself. And yeah, you could feel lonely, you could feel separated from like reality sometimes,
yeah,
because
yeah,
you're so into this creative process, and thinking about the flavor, like you mentioned, the look of the cake, all of managing all of the things that you have to do in order for one of your cakes to look how amazing they look, that it can get to your head sometimes. For me, sometimes I feel like, "Ugh, I really need to get out and see people, like, interact with somebody that is
yeah,
not my dog." Like, say the
yeah.
same. And how does for me, my answer to that was working on my mindset. And in this podcast, one of the things that I coach cake artists with, we talk about time management, we talk about goal setting, but we also talk about mindset. But it's funny because people feel like, we witchy thing when we talk about mindset, but it's not. It's actually, getting into a positive place where you can feel comfortable in a situation like that.
Mm.
Do you believe in that? Do you use it? Do you think having a clear, and I'm not going to say a positive because we're not going to be like, yay, happy all the time, but a clear mindset helps you overcome that struggle, if we can call it a struggle?
Yeah, yeah. I think having like a focus on what you're gonna be doing
Good. I
help.
like that.
I mean, and yeah, you kind of. I think a lot of people they think you have to set boundaries from the beginning, and that's difficult as well.
I love that.
Um, but
Yeah.
when I started, I was working at 10, 11 o'clock at night, and
Hmm.
you waste yourself too soon. You burn yourself out just doing
Totally.
that,
Yeah.
and you do, and you have to say, well, no, I'm going to work from 11 to 6 or from 9 to 4, and then I'm going to be with my family. Or if you don't have a family, you go out. You have to find a balance. You have to actually say, no, I'm going to go on holiday,
Yeah.
or I'm going to go just walk for 3 hours instead of 1 hour. And all that helps you to kind of reconvene into a sort of, oh yeah, now I feel re energized
Yeah.
and do this. And I think a lot of people miss that. I think
Definitely.
a
You
lot
have
of
no idea
people,
how many. Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people is just like, no, work, I have to work. And they don't realize that you have to sleep well, you have to eat
Yeah.
well, you have to socialize to work well.
And it's part of
uh,
the creative. I mean, you need that to be creative as well.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
totally. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Because it's a way of fitting yourself with something
yeah.
different, to get inspired if necessary. Yeah.
Yeah, a
Definitely.
healthy mind helps everything.
Oh,
Yeah. So
absolutely.
in a
Absolutely.
way, it's what you're saying basically. But yeah, don't. I think like what we were talking. I think is something you need to learn as well.
Oh, yeah.
Especially I think especially now with social media, which is
Yes.
quite it's quite it's quite harsh
Yeah.
or not.
It
We're
is.
quite harsh with ourselves. and he's quite pressing, and he's always there, and you feel that you have to work on it all the time,
Mm-hmm.
and that sometimes you forget that, well, he's like I always say, it's just like playing Monopoly. It's all sort of fakey, like
Yeah,
not really the real life that you should have. But some
absolutely.
people just
Absolutely.
devote themselves to that, and I think that plays a lot in a lot of people's mind in a negative way,
Yeah.
and you only realize that when you actually go away from everything for a few weeks, or for more than a few weeks, that you realize, you know what,
It's okay.
and
I'm
yeah,
still alive. Yeah,
yeah,
it's true.
and I'm enjoying it, and
Yeah.
so is yeah, I think
Oh, I
all is
mean, all that you just mentioned, it's spot on because it's what this podcast is all about. This is not only about, I didn't want to have a podcast. It's like, okay, let's just share recipes of cakes and I wanted to
yeah,
have something that the cake artist will understand because some people
mm,
overlook, like you said, some people overlook their mental health, their physical health. They overwork, they work crazy hours. I have people in the group saying, I know people from, for example, Latin America. We have a lot of hours of difference, and I receive messages from them. For me, it's like 7 in the morning. I say, what are you doing up at this hour? For you, it would be like, I don't know, 4 in the morning. Oh, I'm baking. Why are you baking at 4 in the morning? Because my client is picking up the cake at 6. You could bake the day before and just keep the cake on the fridge. It's like, why? Why are you doing this?
mm,
And time management. That's why I created all of this crazy world of time management, goal setting, mindset, because
yeah,
people just don't sit down and take care of those things, and it's so important for the final result of your cake. And then you mentioned the other ingredient, which is social media. I like social media. It's funny because what I like about social media is when we use social media in our favor as a window for our shop. Okay, so I see social media as a window shop. That's it. My life is not on social media. My what is like, no, everything is curated with one purpose, to create awareness for my business and for people to see what I do so they can buy my service.
mm,
That's it. But I don't live for it. And my message always for the cake artist is learn to organize your time around social media so it doesn't be, because you are not a content creator, you're a cake artist. So you cannot be
yeah.
all day thinking about what you're going to do on
But
social media.
yeah, but I think it's the pressure from it,
Yeah.
uh, and I understand that. I think this for cake artists in a creative kind of way. If you don't have, like you say, a bakery,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, in a bakery will be different because you will have staff, and there
Yeah.
will be stuff produced daily.
Mm-hmm.
So plot that, for a cake artist, it will be more, like from time to time. And I think people stresses over that, and how other people probably produce more things
Yeah.
quicker, and I don't think you should. I mean, I think
No, because then there
maybe,
comes the comparison. Yes,
yeah,
that's not.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, and it's like you say, if you use it to your advantage, it's good, and you should see it like, like that.
Yeah.
Specifically Instagram, you should use it like, yeah, I'm gonna show the world what I'm doing,
And just go away.
but that's it.
That's
But
it.
that's it.
That's it.
You know,
Yeah. Don't
don't get engaged.
engage. Don't, yeah, don't look at.
Yeah.
I mean, you can get inspired. I like to see, I mean, like, I see your cakes and so many other
No,
of my
no.
cake friends,
I look
and I
other
get
people.
inspired. But there comes a point when you get to the point that, oh my God, everybody's doing better than me. Just stop.
Yeah.
Stop.
Yeah.
Turn down the phone and go take your dog for a
Yeah.
walk. It's like, don't.
Yeah.
Because we get to
Yeah.
it's
I'm
easier to get to that point.
not looking at, oh, how many followers this person
Oh,
have,
I don't even look at that.
likes, or all this stuff.
Yeah.
That that can be a source of quite a lot of stress for some people.
Stress, yes, so much, so
Yeah,
much. Yeah.
and I think, and not only for cake makers.
Oh yeah,
I'm
for
talking about
anyone, for
everyone,
anyone.
for
Yeah.
kids, for whatever. And it's like I always say, well, Instagram is like monopoly money.
I like that.
So
I like that
it,
comparison. Yeah.
I'd always say, oh, well, it's
It's not
monopoly money.
real. It's not real. Yeah.
Yeah.
When you understand the
So
game and you see everything is curated to make you think that that's what's happening,
I mean,
it's not real.
if you can make it work for you, you can make it get clients through it. You probably sell something through it, uh, but I wouldn't stress over it
No,
at all.
definitely.
I
Definitely.
think I think it's very unhealthy, and
Absolutely.
it's not. Some people is very strict about oh, I only do like 2 hours a day, and I'm like, well, no, I just dive and come out whenever I want. I
Yeah.
just don't stay in for hours.
Because you
You know?
haven't, I mean, you have it, you already know, you know the game. And so when you know the game is like,
Yeah,
I'm not going
but
to get affected by this. So it's fine.
yeah,
Yeah.
but also you don't need to dedicate certain time, amount of time, or at a certain time on the day to that. You can actually go in and out like in 2 minutes just to
Just to check what's
check.
going on. Exactly.
But I know some people like to spend hours and hours scrolling, and particularly I find that actually that stresses me more than
Yeah.
creating content or having to see what other people do. It's just
Yes.
waste
Yes.
time scrolling for 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
I
I
only
hear
I
you. I hear you.
yeah
Yeah. Me too. Me too. For me, time I think is the most precious asset that we
oh
have.
yeah
And I'm not
yeah
here to waste it. Definitely not.
yeah
Definitely not. Yeah.
yeah
I mean, I love that you're mentioning all of this from a different perspective. Um, with and people, don't get me wrong, if you go to Enrique's Instagram account, you will see that he has a lot of content. It's not like, oh, he doesn't put anything in there. No, he does, and he creates these great reels when he's showing how he's
yeah.
making his
I
cakes.
do receive a lot.
Yeah. And it's there, but it's not a stress for him. So learn
No,
that.
I
Take away that.
there was years ago before the pandemic. Uh, I think it was stressful for everyone.
Yeah.
But I think if anything that we learned from the pandemic, I like to think that we learn how to live better, or slightly better, some of us. And and I realized that, well, it wasn't important, and it's I did. I do recycle a lot of content as well,
Good.
because if some people don't see it the first time, and you post it a second time, and some other people might see it. So,
Yeah.
so don't stress. If anyone listening should not stress about that, and
Yeah.
give it time. Repost what you post before, and that's it. If you
And you're
feel
good to
compelled,
go. Yeah.
yeah, you don't have to do it.
Exactly, exactly. Well, thank you for sharing that with us because I love when people hear it not only from me but from other cake artists that that are in business, that are working, that still have their social media, but they're not stressing about it. So think
Yeah.
about that. Yeah. If you could give, because this was kind of an advice, if you could give any advice to a newcomer cake artist, what would that be?
Um, that's a difficult one. Um, I would say try experiment with everything that you can from the
Okay.
beginning, um, because of what we talked before. It's
Mhm.
important that you actually find a medium that you actually feel comfortable with, and I think that will set you on. If you want to do something, you will try with something. I think practicing, going to some classes, just to learn. Be very clever about that as well. Don't go to a class because you like the work of someone only, but because you see that you can learn something, even the most minimal thing, because that's the other thing. I think we always learning things from everywhere,
Yeah.
and I've come across people that they honestly say, "I know everything,"
Oh,
and I find that that is the saddest thing ever.
it is.
Um,
I love to learn.
the,
So it's sad when
no,
you already know
you
everything.
think that you know everything, then you might as well bye bye, war, because you're
Yeah.
too small for me. Um, and 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 I always said to them, I said, well, you can't say that. There's always, I mean, you can. You might know many things, but you can go to something. If you go to a class or to a seminar or whatever, and you come out and you don't get at least one thing new, the problem is you. The problem is not the seminar or the people lecturing, or no. The problem is you, that
Yeah.
you didn't actually get anything out of it.
You were not
Uh,
open-minded enough to learn
yes,
something. Okay,
yes.
got it. Got it. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think experimenting a little bit more, and kind of being open-minded
Hmm.
to whatever comes your way,
I like that.
and kind of all that sets in motion everything. And
Yeah.
obviously at the beginning it's stressful, especially if you want to make it a profitable business.
Hmm.
Uh, and I think some people are luckier that they have a financial support, background or support,
Yes.
save
Yes.
whatever.
Yes. Hmm.
So if they have their savings, I think they need to check that is the right, thing to do as well. Um, but if they don't, I mean, don't spending things that they're not needed
Don't
yet.
buy that many cookie cutters because you're not going to use
No,
them.
no, that's
Exactly.
true. Don't,
Exactly.
don't buy that many nozzles, piping nozzles, because
Yeah.
you only get one or two as well.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, only buy it if you can,
Yeah.
or but it's not. I mean, you realize, I mean, at some
That is
point
not
that
necessary, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
with a few things, and yeah, there are fancy things out there, but it's slowly, you can get them, but then you'll have to use them more,
Yeah.
um, and only if you can afford them, because some of them are expensive. Um, but I think it's more important in nurturing, what you want to do, where you're going, what
Mm.
you learn, and all that comes together before you realize, yeah, I'm gonna do this forever, or
Or
not.
not. Yes, because that's another thing. Many of us start and we don't do this forever. I mean, some of us do for a
Yeah,
long time, but some other people no. We have seen so many people just stop and just you keep going and they're
there- there-
left behind. But they just it's not
there's
for them.
also
Yeah.
the physical waste of yourself,
You
basically.
too. Yeah.
Uh, some people don't believe how much a cake weighs.
And
and
how many
and if you
hours you spend standing up on a kitchen or bend over, piping and
yeah,
your sight is like your
yes,
glasses
yeah,
are not enough. Yeah, I have a
you
lot.
might
Yeah,
your body might at some point say, actually, I don't want to do this anymore,
yeah,
because my back hurts, or my
right.
eyes hurt,
Yeah,
or I can lift it with my hands or whatever. So, it's all a learning
yeah. I like that
journey.
advice. Just try many things, see if it's for you, and be open minded. I like that advice very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Excellent. Excellent. What can we expect from you in the future? Any plans? Any anything, I don't know, anything you can share with us here today?
Um, well, I'm going to be teaching this year. I'm going to be teaching in a few places.
Great.
Um, I think I was a bit late to get a lot of real clients. there was a lag between the ones that got delayed because of the pandemic,
Okay.
and they married last year, and then the ones that were supposed to marry this year, they actually postponed to next year. So this
Okay.
year is a little bit easier for me. Um, so I'll be teaching in a few places. I'm going to be in Lisbon, not in Lisbon, in Porto, in
Oh, when are
November.
you coming? When? Tell me.
Um, I think it's 18 and 19 of November.
Ah,
Or
great.
it's Porto, yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so, and I'm supposed to go. Well, I'm going to Puerto Rico. Now I'm going to New York and all these places. So, yeah. So it's going to be a bit of traveling
Oh,
actually.
love it. Love it.
And a few projects to finish as well. So, yeah, we'll see what it comes in the near future. Actually,
Great. Now, well, at least we got you to teach us what you do. And I like that. I like that. Do you like teaching?
I do enjoy teaching. Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
do. I think it actually is the closest I have to working in an office,
Yeah.
and I like going to other countries, and because everything is different,
Mm-hmm.
and learning how people do it in other countries, that's
Yeah.
that's interesting in itself, and knowing all these people that they want to learn something different, or like, or how to do it, or that kind of thing. It's very humbling. It's
It
very
is. It
humbling.
is a humbling experience, right?
Yeah, it is. It is. So, and that people like to do it is amazing. Actually, I always said so. So so yeah, I do enjoy it immensely. Actually, yeah,
Great.
yeah,
Me too. I love it. I think I found teaching more fulfilling than actually making the cakes. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
For
It's
me.
also
For me, it is. Yeah.
no, no. It is very fulfilling. Yeah, I think it gives you a window into, because we're not full-time teachers, um, but for full-time teachers, um, it must be really fulfilling. It is, knowing something that you have to pass on to other person.
Yeah.
It
Definitely.
is actually quite it is a very humbling experience.
It is
Yeah,
because you can, it's like it's a mixture of you feel how they
right.
feel about you, you give them something, and when you even see that they, like you mentioned before, they come with an idea that maybe was not there, but you even learn from them.
Yeah,
It's a very
yeah.
rewarding process, very rewarding
It
process.
is very rewarding. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I agree with you. I did teach a little bit when, well, an assistant, when I was at uni, and then
Hmm.
something else, like computer architectural programs, and I did enjoy it as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's quite enjoyable. Yeah, I love meeting people. Basically, there, it's very tiring
Yeah,
as well. You
it is.
finish the day, it's just like your
Absolutely. You're
your
so tired.
battery is
Yeah.
completely run out, that you just want to go to the hotel or the room, to your room, eat and watch TV and sleep. That's
It's
it.
true. It's
Don't
true.
want to.
It's a tiring job. People don't get how
Yeah, it
tired you
is.
get after teaching, because it's like
Yeah,
you're not only teaching a technique, it's like you're putting part of yourself in there,
yeah,
right? And you have to be in the mood. You have to be nice to the people. You have to be understanding and have patience and all of that. It is tiring, but it's very
it,
rewarding. Definitely
yeah,
very rewarding.
yeah.
Great. Well, I loved everything that you have shared with us today, but I have to ask you the last question that I always ask my guests. If you could make a cake for anyone, dead or alive, who would that be and what would the cake look like?
Oh my goodness.
I love this one. Everybody's always like, oh my God, I don't know. You never think about that, right?
Do you know what the problem is? I have too many people in my head now.
Okay, pick one.
Um, I my mom was a seamstress when growing up. Not professional, but she used to sew my sister's dresses and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up with a lot of fashion magazines, like Vogue or Bazaar, or that kind of stuff. And I always loved that word, like you know, the editorial side, how glossy, how all the setup and all this stuff. Um, I think I think it would be for one of those designers that are not, I
Oh,
mean, alive right now. Um, I love to do it for. There was an architect called Mies van der Rohe, and he was very. I wouldn't say simple, but he was simple. His work
okay.
was, quite measured
Okay.
and probably dry, and it would be a mixture of that actually. His buildings were amazing, beautiful, so clean, um, but also I like the excess of some fashion designers.
Okay.
Not the
Love it. Yeah.
I don't know that much of the new ones, but the old ones. Not very old ones, but Versace.
Okay.
When Jack was alive, um, um, Alaya, all those dresses that were. It's the fabric. I have a fascination with fabrics as well
Yeah.
because mom used to have them at home, so
Mm-hmm.
you could touch them, you could see the colors, you could see, you know,
The
touch them,
texture, yes, everything.
and the texture and all that stuff, and and I always love that. Um, so I think it would be for someone like that, or a mixture of that kind of either two for this architect that was so clean that it would be maybe I don't know something like made out of isomalt or I don't know
Okay.
some kind because this guy his buildings had a lot of glass as well and it was very simple
Okay.
construction. It was stunning. So now you put my brain into overdrive.
I love, I get, it's like, I mean, I wish you
I
guys
know,
could
I
see
know, I
Enrique
know,
right now because I can see his mind working right now. I mean,
I
you're
know. I just
designing a
started
whole thing
saying
in your head.
we have isomat and we have this and we have that.
Yeah, sorry.
Um, yeah, it would probably one like that.
Oh, I love
I,
it because it
yes,
and it's
every
actually you're talking to me and I can see your, I mean, I don't see the cake that you're seeing in your head, but I can see your work in that. Because when I see a cake from you, you have this very architectural clean
yeah
line
yeah
part, but you also have, like the flowers and the drapings around that
yeah
create that movement that a dress would be. So yeah, it's you. Definitely you. Yeah.
yeah. I do love fashion quite a lot actually, but
Yeah.
I think it's not so much about the fashion itself, but it's about the relation to my mom's
Yeah. Yeah, it's close to home.
salon.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that close thing with fabrics, and I think it's something. It's something that I always want to recreate.
Yeah.
Sometimes I try, and it's like experimenting.
Yeah.
And sometimes it works, and sometimes they don't because obviously fabric is very difficult. Some it's silly because all of them are different depending on the fabric and the weight and all this stuff and how they look. So trying to recreate that, I mean, recreating leather is quite easy because it's leather. It's not, but other type of fabric is really difficult.
It
Uh,
is.
but I think I do want to experiment more on that. You remind me of that now.
Okay.
Actually,
See, there's a
thinking
challenge
about
for you. I can wait to see what you're gonna
when
create.
a few days ago I found a video of an Indonesian uh, um, fashion designer, and it's amazing stuff because it's a mix of um, fashion, Western fashion, and their fashion,
Okay.
their cultural kind of fashion,
Mhm.
and it's they the gowns are amazing, and some of them they it's just, when the models come walking down the catwalk
Yeah.
and all this fabric is bouncy, and it's that kind of thing that gets my brain like,
I love
wow.
that's your inspiration. That's where,
Yeah,
everything comes from.
yeah,
Oh, I love
yeah,
that. I love that. Well, thank you for sharing that with us because, like I said, if you could see I mean, I can almost see your brain ticking right now, and
yeah.
that's
Was
when
that?
you see now, and that's when you see the true artistry behind the product because it's not only about knowing the technique, it's not only about learning the next new thing that is happening in the cake world, but it's about connecting to that
Yeah,
inspire you, that moves you. And that's I guess that answered the first question that I asked you. That's where your uniqueness comes from, I guess, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's you see. We came in as
Yeah, full circle.
the circle. Yeah,
Yeah, I love that, Enrique. I love that. Thank you so much for
yeah. You're
sharing with
welcome.
me today. I mean, we could have recorded our previous whole conversation, have another different podcast, but that was in Spanish, and it's different. So that
Even
could be another talk
yeah,
show later on in Spanish.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
but thank you so much
yeah,
for
yeah.
accepting the invitation to be here.
No,
Like I say, I have admired you not because, of course, your talent and the cakes that you make, and because also I I support all my Venezuelan peers that have come out of our country and try to, not only make a name for themselves, but also have success making their name for themselves. So,
yeah. That's very
I'm
important,
yeah,
actually.
yeah. And I celebrate that with you today as well. Thank you so much, Enrique, for being
Thank you.
here with you, with me and with us. And I hope to have you another time here in the podcast.
Yeah,
Maybe
the
we
next
can
one.
have more Venezuelan friends together. That will be good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
That
would be
would be
fun.
good.
That
Yeah,
would be fun.
yeah.
Excellent.
A
Well,
conference.
huh?
A conference.
Yeah, conference. Maybe we could do like record it and put it on YouTube or something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, my mind is going ticking as well.
yeah. I can do that.
Okay, Enrique, thank you so much for being here today. And I say goodbye to all of you, as I always say goodbye, my friends. Stay safe and stay creative. I see you next time.
Bye.
As your cake coach, I am here to help you. If you want to go a little bit further in your journey to organize your time, set clear goals, maybe teach, work on your mindset, or set a roadmap for results, especially for results and success, I am here for you. Why don't you book a free discovery call with me? I will be leaving the links here in this episode so we can chat, we can talk about what you really need, and we can see if we're a good fit for each other. Remember, I have just one mission in this cake world. First is to unite the cake community as one and to make you, my cake artist, my sweet friend, understand the importance of investing in you. Like I said, I will be leaving the links here in the description of this episode so you can book a 30 minutes free discovery call with me. And just remember, in case nobody said this to you today, I do appreciate you and I want you to stay safe and stay creative. My sweet, sweet friend, if you liked this episode, if you love this podcast, I will kindly ask you to leave me a started review, whatever you're listening to this episode that is available on Anchor, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and I think a couple of other ones. But in any of those, just leave me a review, leave me a couple of stars or 5 stars if you like it. So people will find this episode, the algorithm would put it out there, and more of our K community will benefit from it. Share it with your friends. Download the episode and share them. Share them on your social media and tag me because I will answer you back
Of course, I will. And send me comments, send me your review, send me your feedback. Even if you don't agree with anything that I say, I would love to hear your opinion. You can find me in any of my social media accounts. I will be leaving the links here on this episode description. I'm on Facebook as The Art Cake Experience. I am on Instagram at Christina_The Art Cake Experience. Or you can even find me on YouTube, my YouTube channel, The Art Cake Experience channel. So thank you so much for listening. And please, please, please leave me your review and leave me your comments and your feedback. I would love to hear what you have to say about any of this episode.